Like Jjakji fell out of the WCS round of 32 last season and Stardust won it, so definitely fallen in his shadow. And Snute done a very good job in that WCS season, and like he's the pretty much class as best foreigner, so it's definitely a their match. But the game has started. It is going to be Nimbus Ellie. We are going to jump up into the game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a battle to relish. We have game number 1 on Nimbus. We're spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Zerg player representing Team Liquid. Can he follow in Bunny's footsteps? It's Snute.
And of course, it's interesting to look at the fact that both of these players, they're in the same groups. Snute has already beaten Grubby, so if he wins this, he's pretty much through, and then it comes down to decide between Jjakji and Grubby.
Exactly, but he has got a pretty big obstacle in his way, and that comes in the form of the Red Terran spawning in the bottom right-hand position, representing my insanity, one of the sickest players at the tournament. It's Jjakji.
And yeah, the Nimbus LE 4-player map, they're not going to know where each other spawns, and this is, once again, the one with the in-base expansions. They're going to be very happy, especially Snute, so he can... Well, actually, he did go for the outside expansion against Grubby, but against a Terran, Heli and stuff like that, you don't want to be exposed like that. So I'd imagine he'll go, he does go for the in-base.
That's right. You're going to have to watch out a little bit. I'm sure TLO might have something to say on the analysis desk, actually, after this game, but Snute, I think, hasn't been completely comfortable recently with his early game. He's been a little bit susceptible to early game pressure, Hellion run-bys and things like that, and he's been experimenting with new strategies, playing around with his teammates, understanding the matchup more, and I'm really hoping we get to see some fireworks out of him this game, so I'm looking forward to what he's got to offer.
The same kind of applies to proxies as well. He does really bad against proxies in most cases, whenever I cast Snute, that is. So everything's going to be perfectly standard here. We do have the command center first for the Terran, of course, on this map. You're crazy not to do it, followed by the racks, and there goes the gas. So it looks like he will go up to maybe 1 or 2 Reapers. Of course, it's always a bit hard to predict how many they'll go for, because it's either 1 or 2 or 3, and then it's the Hellion follow-up into the Hellbat follow-up. And there's a lot of different ones which have different timings.
And of course, guys, if we looked at Jjakji's vision, he technically hasn't scouted Snute yet, but as soon as he saw the Overlord coming in from the left-hand side, it was pretty clear where he was going to be, so the SCV is just going to go in and check out what's going on inside that base now. Like you said, very, very easy on Nimbus, which we haven't seen very much today, to just grab that command center first, grab that hatchery first, just get those early expansions out of the way, because you've got 1 teeny tiny ramp to defend, and you've got 2 bases to take inside. It's just very comfortable early game, really encourages longer macro style play, and to be honest, that's something that I think both players here are pretty comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the first gas has been dropped by Snute. It's only a single one at this time, so it should be just 100 gas for you, so you can speed pull them off and then play macro and take a third. But actually, it looks like he might go for the third right now, and ooh, that was not scouted by Jjakji, but it should just do a 180 and... Oh, no, the Overlord. Oh, a little bit of a interesting thing there.
Oh, dear.
That could come back and bite him to an extent, but we do actually have a bunch of Marines, no Reaper or anything like that, and he's going straight up to rack the Hellion, so... With the command center first, you don't really go up to...
He'll find out soon enough, I think. And for those of you who are wondering, well, hang on a second, he was like half a screen away. How is it possible that he didn't know it was scouted? He wasn't looking at the screen. Typically, a lot of pro players, they just right-click the mini-map and shift-click their scouting units back into their base. So as far as Jjakji is concerned, for now at least, he's scouted that location, but he will be able to go back in a little bit and see that the third has in fact been placed down.
I think when he saw the Overlord, he was like, oh, this is the time when Zerglings should be coming out, so that he didn't want to lose the SCV and go in that bit further. You don't know if you will. So the Hellions will get produced, and is that second factory? Yeah, that's the second factory.
It is. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got in store for us here. We also see the buildings placed on the very edge of his main base as well while they're being produced, so that if an Overlord decides to pop in from Snute, he's able to pick it off.
It's a Blue Flame Hellion build with double factory, so he's going to go up to, he's able to triple produce them, so he's going to go up to, he normally went 12, between 12 and 16, and if you get your Blue Flame and stuff like that, it's a game-winning move if you get into your opponent's base. Saying that, of course, if Snute scouts this out, it's fairly easy to defend at the same time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You've got the Marines, of course, on patrol around the main base as well to prevent scouting. The first couple of Hellions are just going to duck in here and go, well, hang on a second. Got a couple of Queens here. I think they'll just wait a little bit. Not too worried so far. but a lot more is going to be coming his way very shortly indeed. There's the blue flame, Pewee. And, well, Jjakji must have booked up a little. We were talking just a little bit earlier about how Snute, a little bit susceptible to early game barbecues, and it looks like he's going to get invited to one.
Absolutely, and the creep has been spotted from that third base, so Bunny, without seeing the hatchery, knows that it's there. But you know, he's playing this very well. He's only got 4 Hellions of the map. He's not keeping adding them on in case that tricks Snute into, or you know, allows Snute.
He's been leaving them under Overlords as well.
Yes.
To make Snute think, well, hang on, I've just got 4 Hellions, and behind this I'm doing something normal. So I really like that.
He's going to go up to a lot of Hellions. I don't know exactly how many he's at right now. I think it's 4 there. He's up to 7, and he's building 3 more. So he's at nearly 10. And yeah, it all comes down to this. Right now, I don't really see Snute with a massive amount of units or roaches or something like that, or something. But the Baneland Nest does finish up, so if he does get connections with that Baneland Nest, or the Banelands, that could easily shut down the Hellions.
And look, Snute doesn't know what this is. He's only seen the 4 Hellions. The Spore Crawler has come down now. He's got a couple of defensive Banelings up. He's getting that round of drones in. And at this moment, he's going, well, I'm waiting for the follow-up. Where are the Banshees? Where is the drop? I'm waiting for something to happen here. And Snute knows the location of the Overlords as well, because he was driving around with the first 4 Hellions. So he is going to get maximum surprise factor out of this.
13 Hellions, another one in production. We do have the double eBay and a Stim in production, so it's going to be a bio.
He sees it now. Oh, he sees it now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mario Kart is happening on Nimbus. As, wow, Jjakji coming in, a couple of Banelings trying to get good hit on the initial Baneling, but he needs a heck of a lot more than that at the moment. Great micro there from Jjakji. And these Queens are doing work while the Banelings kite them, but there are still more Hellions coming by. Can Snute survive this?
Nice little move there. He did take out the rocks as well, so that kind of hurts him in the long run because he can't, you know, force him into a choke or something like that. The Zerglings picking away the Banelings, get a decent connection. There's only, what, 6 or 7 left of these 13, and he hasn't taken a massive amount of economic damage. I don't know how many workers he has killed just yet, but that seems like a very solid hold because that was a lot of invested tech and resources and mind games into that attack.
Snute did not panic. He did not box all of his Banelings and went, I need to get rid of this now. He sat there patiently, let the Queens absorb the hits and go, you know what? I'm going to do my connections when I think I get the most damage done. Feel free to come a bit closer. It's okay. Nice, patient play there. And you know what? Snute said this was a weakness. It doesn't look like a weakness at the moment to me.
1 worker killed there.
1 worker killed, ladies and gentlemen.
Hellions. Okay, we did lose 31 Zerglings and 10 Banelings, but absolutely, you know,
you'd lose them all day if you can trade them for these Hellions. This is a big investment coming out of here from Jjakji. He had to build the second factory. Snute knows this. He had to research the blue flame. A lot of eggs went into this basket, and it just hasn't paid off so far for a Terran player.
Definitely. Now, this overseas is going to come in, have a little bit of a scout. It will see all the barracks, and like I say, it is going to be a bio follow-up. It's not carry on with mech. And upgrades, everything's all kind of close. 1-1 just finished for the Zerg, 1-1's about to finish for the Terran, and the 2-2 has already started with the Baneland Speed and the Spire, and is at both base for Snute, the gases. So he knows he needs his gas. He wants his Mutas, he wants his Banelands, and he wants to be hyper-aggressive.
All right, another 4 Spore Crawlers coming in here from Snute. He wants to be ultra safe. Based on what he's doing here, the Spire has just completed for him, and I'm getting nerd chills, man, because something in the back of my mind is saying Swarm Host.
So what is it? Well,
I've heard about Swarm Host versus Bio. I've heard Snute's been playing around with it. I wonder if we're going to see that in this game.
I have actually seen him play it against MMA in the Gfinity Online Cup, but we do have a pressure coming out. Scan there, nice. And some Banelings. Oh, they actually get some good connections. They went around the wrong way there on a misclick. And the rest of the Banelings trying to get the connections, but as the Marines come off quick, he cannot engage. His Hellions trying to run it. Oh, fly into the third or the natural. And do they get out? Actually, Hellbats transform, and here's some drones will get roasted.
Yep, this is the roasting that's going to occur. That's the barbecue Snute was afraid of. Not killing too many just yet, or is it 8 workers killed and counting so far? But bear in mind that it's really the multitasking from Jjakji here that can try and do the most damage. So far, I have to say, Snute's been holding this off quite well. His creep spread is reaching almost beyond the middle of the map now. It's annoying that he's losing a couple of Overlords. Jjakji needs to keep coming in here and spreading and taking out that creep spread. But his attacks aren't getting any further, Pewee, and that's really where Jjakji wants to be right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the Mutas did get spotted with that drop as well. He hasn't done anything with them yet to move across the map. But it's, it's a bit of a threat, and I think he's waiting for more of a clump, so maybe he can deal with the turret in one full swoop. And
Infestation pit.
yeah, and also, well, this expansion is super easy to take. It's actually quite hard to get units there to defend. So he has a moment here to try and evade it, but we do see Jjakji's units moving across the map. So Snute does have to spot this, otherwise it could be too late. Oh, there's a lot of widow mines.
Here we go. That is a ridiculous number coming out there from Jjakji. He wants to time this now and try and kill it off. 12 Zerglings and 9 Banelings on the way here. Snute basically wants to hold off this attack very, very quickly indeed, so that he can focus on getting up to exactly where he wants to be. Great Baneling gets on the Widow Mines, actually not too many good connects there. And yes, Jjakji's army still survives, but there are 0 Widow Mines here. He's going to find it very difficult to move on to creep and stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so hard. One small wrong move, one bad split on the Banelings needs to connect and take out all your Marines.
Enduring Locust, it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. We've got Swarm Host, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to happen. Snute has held off that aggression, and I'm pretty excited to see how this works out.
Yeah, now this is an interesting map because by the third, there's like that ramp that goes up, and then there's also the center of the map. So it's like, to an extent, it could be very easy to dodge the Locust and stuff like that. So we're going to have to see how Jjakji does deal with this. He is moving out with more Marines and a couple extra Widow Mines added into the mix, but once again, will Snute get the split?
He has to be very, very careful here. This is basically the last attack before he starts getting some Swarm Hosts out there to get engaged. And so far, he's holding it off very well. We've got those Lings and Banelings just holding on until the Swarm Hosts and Mutalisks can take over as the mainstay in this army composition. But let us not forget, 3-3 is on the way for Jjakji. And yes, okay, he's being repulsed off creep. 3-3 Marines do a lot of damage, man.
He's starting to take the supply lead. It's 160. Oh, okay, it was just in his favor by 3 there. And also, like I said, 3-3 is in production. The Zerg doesn't have their hive, so they can't get their own 3-3, so he's always going to fall behind there. And once that finishes, that is a big timing for the Terran. And each of them are on full bases, and full base Terran, uncontested. Like, Snute doesn't even know it's there, it's getting milled. So his income is going to spike very hard. And
Jjakji just being very careful with that 4th base. We've got Planetary Fortress and a lot of turrets. It's really frustrating to have to run your entire army over there, which is exactly why the Mutas are coming in here instead for now. But unfortunately, get a bit denied. That's a lot of turrets Jjakji's putting up. He's looking to really commit to moving units forward.
Yeah, and this is also going to stop the Zerg counter-attack and maybe drawing him back, and he's just going to go for the full-on attack. Widow Mines need to get borrowed and split, and there's a lot of medevacs here, but here come the Banelings rolling in. He's fighting on creep, so the splits are not as fast as they need to be, and the Banelings look like they will just push it back, and we also have some Swarm Hosts fighting a Locust Thor in the middle of the map.
Yeah, and this Swarm Host Mutas transition that we're seeing out of Snute right now.
All the Marines.
Oh, the medevacs are the important thing here. So much gas being wasted. 2 of them go down, a 3rd one almost getting out. Jjakji just about manages to get away with that here, but he is now down by almost 50 supply, and Snute has some units that make more for units.
Yeah, that was a very good trade there for Snute. I thought he was going to chase the medevacs all the way towards 4th base, but does just turn around when the reinforcements do come. And yeah, like this is just while he's biding his time building up his Swarm Host army. So give it an extra couple of minutes, and this is going to be even scarier for Jjakji.
Now, Jjakji's response here, it's very difficult for it to be aggressive. Once the Swarm Hosts start getting onto the edge of creep, start pushing out across the map, how many siege tanks do we have out on the field for Jjakji? The grand total is currently 0. So that, I mean, that in itself makes dealing with large number of Locusts very difficult when you don't have the AoE damage. But he has to invest gas in the Thors. He's worried about the Muta count getting too high. It's a really frustrating situation to be in as a Terran.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to have another big skirmish. Both players completely maxed. We have some extra tech incoming for Snute, but he's only getting a +2 attack. Fair enough. Like the Locusts actually need that to do the extra damage. So it's near enough 3-3v, like 2-1 Locusts.
And let's not forget, on the other side as well, Jjakji is pushing in, and he's got a great drop going on here at the southern position. Jjakji all this time, yes, we've been talking about how difficult it is to deal with as the Terran player. The Terran player has taken a 4th and 5th base and basically hasn't been harassed as well. So Jjakji's income, oh good God!
So many Banelings rolling down that map, and the 2 Thors, oh, they're on a missed command, and wow, that's an easy two snipes there. That's a really big deal, actually. And yeah, as you said, the 5th base is being taken on the top right. The 4th or 5th base for Snute did get denied by this Marine pack running around. And he did some good damage at this 3rd base, and there is another pack of units. The Queens will get picked up. There's only 1 Swarm Host, and this is actually going to get sniped.
Jjakji's adapting. He's going, okay, hang on a second. Swarm Hosts are pretty good units, but what have you not got? Mobility. I'm going to attack you in as many places at once as I can put I'm going to put my fingers in all of the pies on this map. and absolutely be everywhere. And that's the difficult thing that Snute is finding right now. He wants to be able to get all of his units and push, slow push just once across the map and slowly crush everything in his path. He hasn't been able to do that yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we do have +3 flyer attack in production, which actually says how scary these units will be. And some medevac's going to get picked off. The second one does get picked off as well. And there's next to no turrets here, so this base could actually take a lot of economic damage.
All the turrets are at the top side. The Mutas are actually going ahead and engaging the turrets. He does not care. He's honey badgering it, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to try and take out this base. The reinforced Marines do arrive, though, and he will have to move out. But Jjakji now, he has to be keeping one eye on that top right position. Snute knows the bases are there, and they've now just become a target.
Yeah, and there's 2 medevacs flying over towards the third base. The Mutas are...
That's the welcome party, guys.
Yeah, I don't really see these medevacs getting very far from this. And yeah, they do boost to save their life, but
God!
The reinforcements, this could be a trap for Snute. And no, he will get the 2 medevacs and not lose too much. There's a couple of Zerglings that go for the Marines, and a bit of a skirmish here, which you might not want to take, but the Locust will deal a lot of extra damage. The Banelings rolling forward, get a couple of Marines for turnarounds.
I love the fact that he turned around. He went, hang on a second, this engagement might go well for me, but I've got Swarm Hosts. I'm just going to let them take the flak instead. Sensible decision. They're both players now taking the top left and top right spaces. This is very quickly becoming a divided map kind of situation. And we've also seen Jjakji slow down his attempted harass now. Both sides are kind of settling in. Snute's now the one flying around with his mutas, trying to do a bit of harass against. Oh god, that's a lot of missile turrets. He doesn't care. Jjakji, he's not been dropping as much. Jjakji's kind of keeping his army together, defending a little bit.
We've also got the Neo Steel, I believe, for turrets as well, so they do that extra bit of range. Yep. And this base does get spotted. It is 7 base v5 right now, so actually a lot of bases to lose. Of course, if you lose one when you have 7, it's not as big of a deal. This pack of drop, or this drop will get cleaned up quite nicely. But in the meantime, of course, the mutas are at the top left. Jjakji's moving through the center of the map, forcing him into a bad location.
Oh, and it's really the medevacs getting lost to these drops here. And we have a massive engagement with the Banelings chasing the bio. They might just come back and take on the Thors if they need to, but the Swarmos are doing a great job there. How many medevacs have actually gone down this game from the mutas chasing everything right now? And
13.
That's a lot of medevacs to lose. 1,300 gas as well. Another drop is going to get cleared up here as well. And if he's not careful, okay, Jjakji does move that medevac back.
37 hit points left on that third hatchery, which has been killed off once again already. Yeah. So that's a high priority. And this is what I was saying earlier. That corridor is where I believe Swarm Host can easily be abused.
And as Funker just points out, we've got 3-3 and Chitinous plating basically on the way now, and we are going to be seeing a potential Ultralist transition. Oh god, more medevacs going down. And Snute's just slowly asserting his authority through the middle of the map now. These Thors, I think Snute's decided he's had enough.
He picks up the Thors in the medevacs. He doesn't know which one they're in, and what was happening there?
It's pretty hard to hide a Thor, man.
Yeah, I think if you're picking off all the Marines, that would have been a great snipe there. 2 Thors and 2 medevacs, easy snipe.
I think it's the one that looks like it's carrying the giant Lego brick. We can't really miss that, but he wasn't able to quite catch it on that occasion. Another drop coming in from Jjakji. He realizes that the best way to keep his opponent on the other side of the map is to just constantly be aggressive there, and he's now sniping off these hatcheries in the top left. There is not really much Snute can do about this right now, but he could just press ahead with his attack. I wonder if that's what he'll do.
He could possibly. The third base did get picked up again, and as
medevac sacrifice.
Yeah, and a couple more orders there. It was expensive because they pick up buildings very fast. So that's why
I mean, he's got a 1,500 gas bank, so we're saying that, but a lot of them have gone down. He has picked off the hatcheries with it, though. He's done what he needs to do. He needs to limit Snute right now.
And we actually have a double starport in production, so maybe he's sniffing some sort of corrupted Broodlord play, but it is small ultras. And as you said, the upgrades are getting closer to finishing.
This is literally the definition, ladies and gentlemen, of someone spoiling the party.
Wow, that was
everything in party hats just got obliterated. That was a decent chunk. Of course, the mules are going to be able to make up for it. 64 to 58 workers in this late game. Oh dear.
But the top right base has absolutely no static defense, and this is going to go down very, very fast. Even the mules that freshly landed are not going to be able to mine.
Both sides really trading pot shots at each other right now. We have burrowed party hats. That's kind of cute, but it's not going to be enough to save these workers over here from Snute at the 10 o'clock base. These Banelings, though, might, and it looks like the hatchery will at least survive, but the infestation pit and potentially the spire here might get taken out inside the main. Good defense, though, and great unit coverage from Snute. He has to send a little bit more, though.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised. He's actually lost a lot of bases. The spy could fall
Where's
down.
the queen? We need a transfuse potentially to save this.
No.
Is he gonna be?
No, the +3.
This is close.
No!
+3 infantry, ladies and gentlemen, and that was a pretty key pickoff. That Spire was upgrading as well, exactly.
Yeah,
another one immediately gets started, but...
Still 100 seconds.
Yeah, and well, 100 seconds plus the time for that upgrade as well. I mean, that's going to annoy Snute quite a bit. He is now, the map seems to have cleared though. The dust is settling, and if we take a look, Jjakji's still got a couple drops going, but Snute is now trying to coordinate his attacks a bit more.
I'm really surprised at the supply. It's 200 v 168, and for a couple of minutes there, I felt like Jjakji was getting his way back into the game.
Oh dear.
And a couple more medevacs to go. He's lost so many medevacs.
There's some sort of medevac magnet going on in this
22.
game, Huey. That's a ridiculous number. And that's really what's kept Jjakji pinned back. Because if you think about it, Jjakji's dropped and killed a lot of hatcheries this game. Those were the medevacs that survived. Think about what would have happened if those 22 medevacs did even more. It would have been ridiculous. And Snute's done a great job of shutting that down.
Yeah, medevac flying over the main base. He's waiting for the prime time to pick off that Ultra Cavern, but two Ultras and a pack of Zerglings are not going to let it...
Come back! All right, we've got a fresh set of Thors here. Thors and Marauders, generally pretty good, and a couple of Ravens to boot coming out here. So Jjakji getting ready with a later game army, wanting to take on the composition that Snute's got here. And he'll do pretty well against the Ultralisk, but the question is, what is Snute going to do next? He's got a 2.5k, 2k bank here. Jjakji's got some gas tucked away under his mattress. Not that much in the way of minerals, though.
Yeah. Snute needs to get his +3 and his adrenal glands, I believe. Does he? I don't think he has adrenal. Oh, he actually does. So that's nice. But he does need his +3. If you just... Okay, now finish it. The Marauders took so long to die there as they were picking off the hatchery, and that was very painful to watch. So it will start to go in his favor once again.
Oh dear, that medevac. It was his last day before retirement, and it doesn't even matter. Let's notch that count up a little bit more. Another scan going down in the middle of the map, just making sure he knows where Snute's army is. We'll be able to spot that the center of the map is... Wow.
Yeah.
That Marine gets points for bravery, man, but I'm afraid his days are slightly numbered. That's a gruesome death.
We also have 2 Ravens, and this... What's this? The 5th base, so the newly established 5th base, dies as it lands. Unfortunately, not on for this build, not minding its cost back. But these Ravens, I think he just produced 2 more production. Oh.
On top of the Swarm Host, a Stim coming in here to pick off a couple of these, but doesn't matter. It has the transition already happened. Here come Banelings. Here come Ultralisk. That is a lot of green explosion-y stuff coming on top of this Terran army, and Jjakji's attack has been completely blunted. We ask ourselves at what cost, but doesn't matter at this point because the Mutas are coming in to play cleanup. And Jjakji now, especially after losing all the bases in the top right, which ideally he wants to be mining from at the moment, is starting to be on the back foot.
Yeah, he's starting to expand towards his opponent, taking the center middle base at around 6 o'clock. So that's an easy opponent pick up. And once again,
another drop.
Marauders destroyed buildings.
I'm looking for where the medevac is, to be honest. Whenever I see a drop now, I'm just looking to see where the medevac is.
Oh, he's going to get another hatchery. No. Oh, just about 50 health. Of course, we're taking him about...
Snute's in the booth now going, one time, just one time, please. He just about gets his wish. He now has effectively taken the whole of the left side of the map. Jjakji, I mean...
Like, he doesn't know about this mining base at the 6 o'clock position, though, and he needs to shut that down, because that is what's keeping Jjakji in this. There's this one on the right-hand side with some extra 3-4 patches, but there's this one. Look how many meals are on that base.
Well, Jjakji's income at the moment is still okay because he's constantly denying those bases in the top left. But Snute does have the position, which means Jjakji needs the spare army supply to constantly go over there, constantly drop, constantly pick it off. And Snute, in the meantime, is going, well, hey, you know what? I'm just going to clump my army together and just take out bases. And Snute's just doing a much better job of that at this moment in the game.
Yeah, Snute, like, he took a fight with the pack of Marines then, lost a few extra meters than he really should have. He should start to... He's got his +3, his +2 carapace for his flyer just started or finished, so his upgrades are getting closer and closer. Of course, 3-3 Marines is so scary. But he does know about this base in the 6 o'clock position, and he is going to start pressuring it because he knows that this is the lifeline of Jjakji. Yep,
here we go. A scan just to see how many Swarm Hosts are behind this attack. Snute really just keeping this under wraps. He's sending another medevac, although... Oh, God. Don't send medevacs. Just don't do it, Jjakji. We've seen what happens. It doesn't work. And massive engagement coming over here now in the 5 o'clock position is Snute looking, possibly probing for an opening to try and finish this game off. One Baneling there, one token Baneling. I'm not sure why it's there, but these Ravens are looking pretty scary right now. PDD's dropped.
There's like no anti-air.
Absolutely no anti-air, and here we go. Oh, Hunter-Seeker missiles against the Swarm Host. Actually, okay, so it's going to take 2 of them to destroy each one. That's a lot of energy he has to use.
And very smart move by Snute. I believe he's going up to Pathogen Glands and Pestas to lock them down and obviously just kill them out in one swoop move. Of course, there was something on Reddit the other day about Hunter-Seeker missiles demolishing a pack of mutas. So we could see that if that happens.
If we take a look at the income right now, that's what scares me the most about this game. Jjakji, thanks to the mules, has been constantly mining more minerals, even though he hasn't been able to secure the top right. That's very quickly going to swap around as Snute starts asserting his dominance on the map. A lot of static defense coming down now. And, I mean, that's a lot of Ravens. PDDs are great. He's going to need a lot more of them, though.
Oh, yes. And the Queens are here, though, and they do a great job because the transfuses can make a huge... How many meters does he have at this point?
Wow, man.
So many.
That looks like Goody built that base.
Yeah, 29 meters are actually fairly scary. And he is going after the top right-hand base. But in the meantime, we have a big fight here at the 6 o'clock location. There's actually some tanks here to deal with the Locusts and stuff like that. But once again, there's just too much here for the Terran, and the tanks giving that siege, allowing him to push forward.
Oh, those Spore Coils actually doing a great job of limiting the heal of this army because the medevac simply can't follow at the moment. The Ultras are getting wow, can't even get transfused fast enough. This infantry is just taking it down so fast. Is it going to be enough to make a breakthrough, though? Snute immediately remaxing. He's a little bit gas-starved at the moment, though, so he's going to have to start using Lings.
He is. How many lava does he actually have? He doesn't have that many bases. He's been losing them non-stop. He's only had...
Oh, but he's into the siege tanks. That is the splash damage that limits the swarm host, the siege tanks. And once you get in there, you've got a massive lever to wedge open his position. And Jjakji now down to 113 supply versus 173. Swarm host Muta is the order of the day.
All these bases have been taken out. It's only the 6 o'clock, the one at the 2 o'clock position, the 3 o'clock position. They've all been, the command centers have been lifting off and going there and getting killed in transition. So it's just done a great job of hurting his opponent's economy. And this is the last stand that Jjakji has.
Oh my God, not another medevac. Funker doesn't even want to look at it now. He's like, yeah, I can't. I just can't, guys.
32.
Oh my God. I don't remember the last time I saw 32 medevacs go down in a single game. This has been brutal. It's been a war of attrition, but Snute now looks to actually have the upper hand. It's going to be very difficult. It's not impossible, but it is so difficult for Jjakji at this point to turn it around.
There's 47 workers at the 6 o'clock location, so even if he manages to defend it for a little bit, it's going to get mined out so fast, and what does he do then?
Exactly, and Snute can just buy time with the Swarm Host. He's done a great job of keeping his Mutalisks alive as well, which means the threat of harassment, picking off those bases, which he's been doing all game, and it hasn't diminished.
And he's actually stepped up his game now, moving overloads to all the bases that could be taken by Jjakji, so it's going to slow him down, he's going to spot it. He's just going for the bases and the turrets now with this many mutas, and he knows that he can kind of trade inefficiently now because of how much more he's...
I think you are in a good position when you can send in mutas to like a goodie base with a single turret for every single SCV that's there and go, you know what, don't even worry about it.
And the Banemans are rolling forward, the Thors will get picked off, and as they roll into the mineral line, I think this will be GG, and there it gets called. Snute takes game number 1. In a fantastic series, game 1.
Unbelievable. Like, we knew this was going to be a series to relish, guys, but that game 1 was incredible. Liquid Snute now leads 1-0, and Swarm Host Mutalisk, dish of the day, Snute is your chef. That was pretty awesome.
To be fair, though, Jjakji played amazing as well. I think he started full where maybe he was starting to trade too many units for the bases and stuff like that, because then he was forced in big engagement, and his army was significantly smaller, so he couldn't have cost-efficient trades. But he done an amazing job with picking up the extra bases when he could. Of course, he did lose all of those medevacs, like 35 in the end.
That did actually end up being slaughter. But at the same time, I want to commend Jjakji for it. And the reason I want to commend him for it is because in the middle period of that game, we were all on our seats wondering which way it was going to go. Snute was harassing with the Mutalisk when he can. He had to pull back and really keep his units on his half of the map when Jjakji started dropping a lot. I mean, we went, oh my goodness, the number of medevacs lost in this game is quite large. The number of hatcheries lost was quite large as well, guys. Let's not forget that. And Jjakji did do that really well. He needed really perhaps to keep more of the dropships alive, but the idea behind what he's doing shouldn't have changed. Would you agree?
Definitely. There is a structures lost build tab. I would love to see how many hatches got killed. It must have been like.
I think Funko would be afraid of opening that up after that game.
Did you see how many? Like at one point, it was like 450 Marines that had been killed.
That was one of my classic take a shot for every hatchery gone games. God. Yeah, I occasionally play those in a much safer environment, and sometimes they don't end well.
Yeah. If you were done for that, you
man.
probably wouldn't wake up again, so definitely.
No, don't worry. I'm still here. It's fine, guys. We're not actually playing as it currently stands. Game number 2 is going to be on Overgrowth. These guys, I'm going to be honest.
I think a 2-Rex, maybe.
Maybe.
Two-player map.
Well, okay. Snute is very used to playing long games.
Yes.
He just went, yeah, Swarm Host, great opportunity. Jjakji, he's going to be a little bit tired right now.
And he must be a little bit paranoid. Like, that was... He gave it his all, and I don't believe that he ever really took the advantage. He had some supply advantage, like 5-10, but I would never say he was ahead in the game. He was always a little bit ahead in supply.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the game has loaded. We're going to be going into game number 2 of this best of 3 series here in Group C of Gfinity, a G3, and spawning in the top right position on Overgrowth as the red Terran player. He needs your support now. He's down a game. Can he rally it? Incredible play in that last game. Representing my insanity, it's Jjakji. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom left position, using a Swarm Host Mutalisk style against Bio in game number 1, winning the War of Attrition, officially known as the Medevac Killer. Playing for Team Liquid.net, we have Snute.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we have a proxy, at least for now. He would have to send the SCP by now. So
It's like, guys, we played a long game. It's 2-Rax time. Just don't even worry about it. Just send them out.
Well, like I said, Snute has, like, I rarely ever cast Snute and he actually holds them. Like, he has this horrible luck where, like, you're like, oh, he's held, and then somehow, like, the next pack of Marines come in and he just kills him off. So he does have really bad luck against that, but we have the gas start now, so it looks like we should have a Reaper opening, which is a great choice on a map like this. And, you know, as always, as it currently stands, it normally goes Reaper 1, 2, or 3 into Reactor Hellions, and then they normally, at the moment, to get the armory, and they go for the Hellbat transition, and then they go for a push. And it can be really potent.
Do we feel like that's something Jjakji might do here against Snute, because we saw in game number 1, he opened up with a sneaky Blue Flame Hellion build, right? He's trying to pick Snute out in the early game. Could we be seeing a Hellbat attack here?
I think that's a good try. It's such a solid build. It's quite predictable now because when the Hellbat buff came through, everyone was like, woo! And everyone kind of overused it to where it kind of went out of meta a little bit. So it's a little bit of a mind game, but the first Reaper's in production. And like I said, as it stands, it can go up to 3 Reapers, so that's what we're paying attention to now, and of course the command center next.
All right, so we'll keep an eye for that. Let's keep a count on that number of Reapers. We've got the Overlord here coming in now. We'll be able to immediately spot that the Reaper is there. This is Overgrowth, of course. The Reaper can't get out of the base on the south side, only via the left, so it will get spotted here. And, oh, whoa. Okay, well, he's just going to move out, but he'll probably see it anyway. There's the SCV, and yeah, he sees it.
Yep, second Reaper in production, so he is going to pull out. And what's that? Oh, okay, that's for Depot, I believe. But, ooh, this is a very smart move. Is Jjakji can actually figure it out? If he goes to the Watchtower, he might see the Zerglings, and yes, he will. So
just for a split. Oh, and he sees it immediately. He goes, hang on a second. That looks a little bit suspect here. I'm going to jetpack it all the way home and just check to make sure you're not trying to get some sneaky damage. And the second Reaper will, of course, be able to help defend.
Yes. They should still... Ooh.
Oh, a little bit of dance here. Those Zerglings could theoretically get us around on the Reaper, but now his friend is here as well, and these links will end up being forfeit. Snute will be able to get... what is it? Yeah, very good target firing there, so not automatically grabbing the Reapers, but all the Zerglings do die. Really nicely defended there from Jjakji.
Yeah, Snute had the right idea, but like you don't really expect the Reaper to go to the Watchtower, especially that Watchtower first, because it's the further one away. Fair enough, it's slightly on the way, but you just want to get there as fast as possible to do the damage. So, lucky move, or smart move by Jjakji to go to that Watchtower and get them, and there is a third command center.
Exactly, putting it down straight away. Killing off those initial scouting links, going, actually, your map presence isn't going to quite be as much as you want. I know you don't want to build more Zerglings. You want to try and drone up at this point. So how about I just take a couple more risks, just be able to expand myself a bit more than I'm used to. And he's got these 2 Reapers as well. He's going to be feeling pretty safe right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like also a little bit of a mental win because Snute tried to outsmart him in a sense, and he went to the tower spotted, so he's got that's going to make you feel more confident, give you the momentum, and like you said, Snute especially doesn't have the map awareness and control that he would like as a Zerg. against whatever is coming.
Oh, the two Reapers here. Oh, they're not going to block the third. Oh, wow, that was close as you like. I'm pretty sure that drone was on 1 hit point when it became a hatchery. These Reapers feeling a little bit blue at the moment, but that's okay. They've got combat drugs. Don't worry about it. These Queens, though, will put an end to their aspirations of getting this to cancel.
Yep. Now, we do have the Zerglin speed in production. He is continuing to mine gas, and we do have the Rotom again drop right now. 2 Hellions are going to slip into the natural, though, and the Queens are dealing with the Reapers, so they're going to have a free barbecue. A couple of Zerglins do pop, and there is no Zerglin speed, so with some good unit control, you should be able to get a couple of jump kills.
Oh, nice surround on one of them,
Yeah,
actually,
that was a
limiting damage. 3 workers killed only at the moment from Jjakji. But I really like how the Reapers did pull the Queens away to the third with the Hellions sneaking in. We've got a couple more, as I understand it, sneaking into the natural expansion now as well, wanting to try and finish the job a little bit. But this time, the Queen's in place. We've got a couple of Lings as well. Yes, he'll get 1 or 2 more. But, oh, wow, excellent surround there. Great micro from Snute.
Absolutely. The 2 Reapers do jump up into the main, and they will get forced down. They might get... No. They do just jump straight into the... I always forget there's a little cliff where you can jump down by that. And,
I'm sure the Reapers are pretty glad it's there, man.
Yeah.
But Speedlings, you know...
a little bit faster.
Just a little faster. How can they be faster than someone with jetpack?
I know, right?
That's my... You can tell I'm a Terran player.
It
It has jetpacks, guys. Why are Vikings not 3 times faster than they are?
I know.
You know? So they're going to push him all the way back, actually. He needs to be careful not to lose these. Both of them very, very low on health. The Bio going to try. Oh, he gets them. Excellent micro there from Snute. Maximizing the effectiveness of every unit there. And at the end of all of that, we've got 39 SCVs versus 51 drones. Of course, 3 CCs there for Jjakji, so let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So he will be taking it.
And that was after Snute lost 7 to the Hellion harassment. But
yeah.
he's killed the Hellions. He killed all the Hellions, you know, the 2 at the natural. They're all dead. I think there's 2 more Hellions running down the center map. So he's still producing these Jjakji. He shouldn't really, because at this point, they're not going to be any more effective, you know, unless they're in a larger number.
Sure, of course.
And a 4th base from Snute, so he's feeling very confident.
Yeah, he's playing for the long game now,
yeah.
I think, Pure. He's got the double Evo chamber coming up. He's starting to spread his creep. He's going, hang on a second, those Hellions, those Reapers, right, I've kind of limited your early game aggression now. You sent your units, great, you know, you killed some stuff, that's cool. Now it's my turn, sort of macro up, get where I want to be. And then I'm going to ask you the question. When this happened last game, I ended up winning. What are you going to do differently this time, Jjakji?
Exactly. That's so exciting.
You got some medevacs for me? Let's have them. Don't even worry about it.
Well, it's not a full play map, so at least Jjakji is limited on where he can go to attack his opponent's bases.
That's very true.
So it'll be less drops and more big confrontations. But you know, like you said, Snute is doing exactly the same as he did the last game, and we saw that he you know, in the long game, he absolutely won the game, fair and square, and absolutely demolished his opponent.
So an extra hatchery as well, going down as a macro hatch in the main now. Snute just wanting to bank up those larvae at the moment. His creep spread is phenomenal, just continuing to move. Considering he only started this bit of creep spread like a minute or 2 ago, he's really focused on getting it out past that watchtower. Will get the Baneling Nest scouted by that Hellion, but that won't necessarily be too much of a surprise against a Terran player. Just making sure that there's no sneaky shenanigans to go down. There's the Spire.
Yeah, absolutely. The 3rd base has been taken by Jjakji as well. This has all been scouted by Snute, so he knows what's going on. And, you know, the Spire's getting added on, the double upgrades, the Banelin's being added in the mix, there's the Baneling speed. And, of course, Jjakji, on the other hand, is just getting his upgrades and adding on production facilities, so everything's what you would expect. So it all comes down to, like, Snute should be a little bit more aggressive to try and do some damage towards this 3rd, and then, of course, the Mutas will come in and go for the main.
Yep, exactly. And I think once the Mutas are out on the map as well, that also buys Snute a couple of minutes' time where he's basically going to be able to spread creep at will. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, he's doing a pretty good job of that already, but Jjakji's saying, you know what, I don't want to give you those couple of minutes right now. I'm going to go ahead and sneak by here. But to be fair, that's a lot of Banelings.
Yeah, he did just get spotted by Creep Team, so this has been spotted. More Banelings morphing in. The Baneling speed hasn't finished yet, but they are on Creep, so he does have a bit of a speed effect. Great surround, and the Banelings, they connect with the Marauders, but it doesn't matter. There's enough here to absolutely clean everything up, and there are no mirrors to kill those medevacs.
Excellent wraparound there from Liquid Snute. Just beautiful wraparound with the Zerg and with the Banelings coming in afterwards. It's almost like he's watched videos of Destiny on YouTube. That was basically picture perfect. That was really good from him. And Jjakji, once again, finds his aggression limited. As soon as he gets onto creep, he's just having a bit of a tough time. And Snute is really good at just pulling back and just waiting and going, okay, yeah, you have an army, you're coming in, that's fine.
There they are. I was about to say, getting a little bit worried because Jjakji was a little bit ahead of supply, about 10 to 15, but now the mirrors have started. He's wasted, obviously, all of the resources. He's been banked for that. The 2-2 has started for the Zerg, but the 2-2 hasn't started for the Terran, so there is an advantage there. Of course, okay, there's the 2-2 for him. So once that finishes, he will probably have the 3-3 upgrade advantage, like we always see. But as we saw last game, it doesn't always matter.
Well, Jjakji medevac drivers, man, they're not afraid. He's loading up a drop now, simultaneously clearing up creep in the middle of the map. Look how far he is, though, from doing any sort of damage to Snute's infrastructure. Jjakji is doing a good job right now, but he needs to push in and stay there, if that makes sense. Snute just seems to be constantly expanding outwards. There are the 2 medevacs. Are they going to get intercepted yet?
Yes, it looks like the mirrors are flying.
We're all waiting for it. Everyone in the crowd's waiting for it. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And are they going to get... One of them manages to unload half. The rest of them, unfortunately, this double drop does not look good. That would be medevac number 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I don't think he lost any mirrors there, so nice to make sure he flew away, picking the marines, and then sent the Zerglings to finish them all off, to make sure that he doesn't lose the very expensive mirrors. And now, of course, I don't know how many turrets Jjakji has, but of course he needs to start adding them on and stuff like that. So he got 2. Does that mean he doesn't have one as natural then? So that's a weak spot, and no widow mines and stuff like that. So Snute could, fly in towards the main, fly over to the natural, do some damage, and take some pot shots on the way out of the third. But Jjakji is moving out now to do an attack.
So we've got 2 interesting upgrades coming out from both of our guys here. We have Drilling Claws coming out from our Terran player, wanting to play a more Widow Mine-centric approach by the looks of things here in game number 2. But we have Enduring Locust once again for Snute. He's saying, I'm going to be able to do the same thing again. He's going to try and trade these Zerglings and Banelings as much as possible. On creep, though, he needs to be careful for this Bio Army to buy him enough time to get into his late-game composition.
Yeah, and a pack of Zerglings from past the Widow Mines there on miscontrol and do get blown to pieces, so resets their cooldowns right there. But Snute has had this full space for a while, and I don't know how much Jjakji knows about that full space, how long it's been there and stuff like that, so he actually doesn't even know it's there. So that's... the gases to be in mind, that's 8 gases that he has, and he only thinks that his opponent has 6. So that's a lot more meters that he can get per minute. Yeah,
that's actually a really good point there. We haven't seen any drops coming down as well towards the right-hand side that have done any damage, and really, Jjakji should be looking for stuff like that, if possible. A lot of Widow Mines trying to secure that base location there. And now he spots the creep on the right, and I think he must be suspecting it.
He should be suspected. Oh, okay. He has moved the huge pack of Widow Mines. I thought he was going to leave them there around that base, just waiting for the opportune moment where the meters fly towards that main and get
guys, don't worry. This base is secure. Trust me. So he's going to be moving them out in front of the army. That's a lot more than the army composition we saw out of Jjakji last game. And of course, against things like Mutalisks, it can be great. Against things like Swarm Host, it can often be annoying, though, because what you end up with is a lot of micro required to stop your Widow Mines exploding just against those lovely Locusts. But here we go. Excellent step. Picks off 3 Swarm Hosts straight away, but Snute coming in from the side, and there was some decent initial connect, but Jjakji still has a lot of army left.
Yeah, the front pack of units that were picking off the Swarm Hosts absolutely got denied there. And that's one thing you have to be careful of with Bio.
90 Zerglings in production. How serious is Snute about defending this? I'd say pretty, according to that. And he might actually want to wait for them, though, because he's moving in with the Banelings and the Mutas on their own initially into that little valley of death. A couple of medevacs, oh goodness, out in no man's land, just about able to get away with it, though. Snute, priorities elsewhere, and I think he'll uphold this off for now.
Yeah, it is now 2-2 v 2-2. Of course, the 3-3 has started for the Terran, as always, before the Zerg even gets his hive. So that is it's going to be a long time before he gets there. Like, it does play a part, like, especially if the Mutas end up fighting the Marines or something like that, then it is a massive deal.
So here's what's weird. Last game, bigger map, more avenues potentially for attack, Jjakji dropping all over the place. Snute looked like he was in a really comfortable position. This game, fewer drops, fewer medevacs dying, but Jjakji, he's being bolder. It's almost like he's more comfortable.
Why is he unloading on top of a sport ball?
I don't know. As soon as I said that, Caster's Curse, I've got no idea. That drop's going to get cleaned up quickly. But over here on the right-hand side, though, Jjakji, he's done a good job of moving a lot of that creep back, and he's moved as far as the gold base, and he's staying there. He's not moving all the way back, but the Locusts from the Swarm Host have now started to catch on.
Yeah, there's the adrenal glands. The hive has finished up. He does have the +3 carapace and the +2 attack for the Locusts. Of course, that's more important than the melee. We do have the Ultra Cavern as well, so once that finishes up, he's going to get a little scary. Jjakji, on the other hand, is turning around. It felt like he had a fairly good position, but one bad engagement there is easy to get overwhelmed, so it's nice to pull back, regroup, and he should start attack.
I think Funk is suggesting that Snoot's going to take the top left base.
There's a possibility.
It's a bit.
No.
Oh, if he denies that with creep tumors, I'm going to be so happy. Not quite.
I think he just might win C5 soon. Gold is being taken as well by Jjakji, so that's a nice little win there. I think he just turned the command center as he saw the creep flying up towards that top left.
All right, a massive drop being loaded up now from Jjakji in the middle of the map. Where is the destination of the... okay, that's a Marine. I was just checking that wasn't a Zergling at the watchtower there.
There's 2 spores there now.
The guy, Jjakji, mate, you dropped there before. Okay, there we go. The medevacs do survive. It's okay, guys. Don't worry. But now he is being hunted down by a pack of angry mutalisks. He needs to be so careful. That is not the correct way to go. Is he going to get it? He's not going to get away with it. One goes down, forced to drop, losing about, I'd say, a third of the units in the first one. And Jjakji, unfortunately, not able to make that work at all.
No, he tried for a very smart move there. He tried to intercept the army of the Zerg with all his units, but the Mutas did get 1 or 2. There is a medevac drop that is getting cleaned up here at the 4th base location. Getting a couple of workers, I believe. And they're just trading back and forth near enough, and now that top left base is being denied. But a couple of roaches up here as well, just to add insult to injury, I guess.
And I just love how Snute is absolutely not afraid of just constantly building more units and buying more time. He's got 50 plus Zerglings on the way, and this was after he won an engagement going, you know what, I'm not 100% ready for my Ultralist transition yet. Here, have 30, 40 supply worth of army to deal with in the meantime. Just constantly whittle you down. It almost feels like an
engagement in the center of the map, or is it just a pack of locusts annihilated? But they do the damage, they slow the opponent down.
Yeah.
And it, in a sense, it allows Snute to counterattack because you have to deal with the locust before you can attack yourself. So
exactly right.
It's Pathfinder lands in production as well.
Oh, we're going to see Infestors as well with this mix. That'd be pretty sick, man. I'd be looking forward to seeing that from Snute. Jjakji, on the other hand, he has, it looks like he's actually like playing SimCity or possibly Farmville over there on the right-hand side. The number of command centers he's got right now is bordering on silly. That's pretty awesome there. So he's going to have mules. He wants to get rid of all his SCVs and just constantly drop mules at this point to have a much bigger army to deal with this. We'll see if he's able to get that up, though, because Snute is doing a good job of coming in here and disrupting it as much as he can.
Yeah, those Banelands are rolling into natural. The wall has risen, but it gets blown apart. And the mineral line, the SCVs, there's not that many patches, so they're all stacked. And does he go for the... No, he went for the SCVs and the command center. So many turrets here at the gold, you cannot fight that. And in the center of the map, we have a pack of locusts once again, trying to force the army away from whatever location Snute wants to attack.
That's a lot of fire going on at the natural expansion. Jjakji needs to get over there and repair it pretty soon. All of those workers going down as well. Number kill 24 at the moment for Snute. And now we have the Swarm Host off creep in the middle of the map. Snute trying to assert his position here.
Yeah, 24 workers have been killed in total, so it was like 18 or so at the natural. And that puts a big dent in Jjakji. Like Jjakji kind of has to repay the favor here and do some damage himself. Oh, those Mutas nearly took a massive amount of splash damage from the Thors.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job there, actually, of forcing these Swarm Hosts back. A great scan there. We almost got into a situation where there would have been Widow Mines burrowed on top of Swarm Hosts, which could have been interesting there, but not quite on this occasion.
Yep. And Jjakji's economy is starting to hit. Fair enough, he does have the gold, but there's only 13 workers. I think he's transferring some now slowly. And
this game is close, man.
It is
68 workers to 58, but Jjakji's got the mules. Resources lost, just about within 1,000 resources of each other. Reasonably close here. Snute not looking quite as comfortable this game as he did last game, even though his position is fine. Jjakji not dropping quite as much, but also not losing quite as much. This is definitely in the balance, and Jjakji now is going to go for a huge army composition off of the number of mules he's going to get here in the middle of the map.
Yeah, and he's picking up some turrets here at the 4th base location, 5th base, getting some SCVs as well, and I think he got an extra 8. The Thors, though, so much splash damage, and thankfully they weren't stacked. Otherwise, the Muta pack would be gone.
Yeah, they weren't stacked, and that already looked quite painful. Imagine if they were. That's that could have been a disgusting situation. Luckily, Snoot's going to be able to head out and heal up those Mutalisks. They regenerate reasonably fast when not fighting. But Well, I don't know. That's a lot of banelings, man. 32 more on the way. I think Snoot's going, hey, I've got some supply here.
Is he going to roll into the planetary? It looks like he will. There is a planetary nexus, so he has to be careful.
It's a bad day to wear a party hat, guys. Look away. That is absolute car. He might have been able to take down the planetary because a lot of those actually took out the turrets.
I thought he was going to go for it. Swarmhost just trading. Obviously, it's a great trade here for free units. Always good.
Yeah.
And the economy that did get hurt yet again. He is flying in here. All the turrets got picked up, so he can finish off the command center finally with his mutas, and that is a big deal.
And the gold base has now gone down for Jjakji. Jjakji knows he needs to go at this point. He's got a lot of siege tanks here, though. The amount of firepower in this is huge. He needs to make sure the bio doesn't go forward too quickly. He's going to be able to pick up a lot of these swarmos, but the mutas will be able to pick up the siege tanks if he's not careful. Where are they? They're actually not even there yet. So right now, the engagement's not too bad for Jjakji, but it's about to get a lot worse.
Here they come, 190 supply V, 130. There's so many mutas, there's not many Marines. The tanks are going to get annihilated, and so will the medevacs, and I think that could be a GG, as it's not going to be much of an army fall on, but actually, I didn't see all those Marines come in there, so the reinforcements are doing a great job of keeping Jjakji in this game.
Exactly, the Marines keeping the Mutalisks in check there, but the siege tanks are on the front lines and exposed. So many of them just went down. The medevacs, I mean, you'd think they'd be afraid after game number one. They do all get out. It's been okay. It's been bad, but it hasn't been absolutely terror bad.
Yeah, well, it's 94 supply V, 185 right now with 37 workers and one mining base that is denied.
I think it's the one mining base that's the really important one. We were looking at this base earlier in the top left. The creep has finally spread there. Snute has very, very much denied that from Jjakji right now. And the bottom right base for Snute more or less hasn't been troubled all game long. Let's be honest. That really has been the power train behind this game here from Snute.
It really has, and he took that so fast. He really took that very, very fast. So I still don't even know if it's been scouted, which is a huge deal if it hasn't.
Well, it's hopefully just a given that it's there. Yeah, he definitely knows it's there. But the point is, there's nothing he can get at it with right now. And Jjakji, from a position where he was really feeling more comfortable in the middle of the map, rallying his Thors and Marines out there, unlike game number one, and just trying to assert that position. I think he's paying for that a little bit now. He's wondering if that was the right move.
So many Widow Mines and units getting produced, just standing outside the production, getting picked off by the Locusts. You know, like 3 Widow Mines got annihilated. There's 118 supply v 200. This has got to be the final stand. If Jjakji doesn't hold this and has a big, massive force to counterattack with, I don't see him winning this game.
You're absolutely right. I mean, Snute, he's moving. I want to say he's moving off creep, but he's not. He's basically still on creep because his creep spread has just been so great towards the 4th base location here of Jjakji. And this army is just getting constantly whittled down. Even if each round of these locusts kills 2 or 3 units, Snute doesn't care.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
And I also got to point out, I'm guessing Snute particularly wanted the creep to go all the way up to the left-hand side, so no drop could ever get to his main base without being spotted. And you know, it hasn't. You know, he's taken next to no economic damage from these drops, like we saw in the last game, and that's why it feels like it's a lot more in his favor, you know, in comparison to that.
+3 flyer attacks coming in from Snute now.
The SCV transfer.
No, not the party again. God, these guys, we keep getting invited to all the wrong parties, Pewee.
He only killed like 2 of them there, so that was a nice little...
That was a little bit of a lucky escape there, but that was a massive cringe moment. Jjakji does not want that to happen again. He's at 123 supply. He doesn't need to be sacking them. Nice drop over here against the gold base, but the mutas are close enough that they're going to be able to shut this down comfortably before the hatch can fall.
And also for the 5th base as well. So some Marines doing some damage, some Locusts picking away at the planetary. There's no SCVs here anymore. They were transferring to the top left, so that is the lifeline of Jjakji. He has to defend that base. Fair enough, Snute doesn't really know that it's up there or isn't concentrating on it. It's quite far out the way.
And when a massive point to make out as well, at this moment of the game, when Jjakji was being aggressive against the gold base early on, he lost all his siege tanks. He doesn't have a siege tank left to defend against the swarmos. He hasn't got that splash damage in place to basically keep them at base so that the rest of his army can be more mobile, can go after the mutalisks, can perform drops.
Locusts getting free trades once again, and this is such a big deal. It's back down to 90 supply V199 in Snoot's favor, and you know, he's got look at the composition. He's got we got a bunch of ultras, Banemen, mutas, swarm hosts.
This is going to be a brave stand, but I fear it might be a losing one for our Terran hero at this point. He's fighting on, he sees the swarm host, he can't even move in, he sees the ultras and banelings, and he goes, hang on a second, how is there just so much Zerg over here? And the answer to that really has just been constant mining, constant resupplying.
he's losing all his Widow Mines. As soon as they get produced, they run forward as the attack moves and they just suicide into the Locust. And they're a big deal because obviously if they pop against the Mulas, that could be a bit of a game-changing moment.
3-3 bio is strong, man, but unfortunately 3 units exchange even better than 3-3 Marines. I know it's difficult to believe, but it is true. And this looks like it could be the beginning of the end. The gold base going down now for Jjakji. He's trying to repair it. Are we going to see? No, we're not even going to see the Banelings come in. He's just going to let the Swarm Host do the work. Lure the army in, pick it off with Swarm Host, just constantly whittle it down. 111 supply. Snute is still maxed out. And
so much damage. It's so scary.
And Jjakji can technically survive here indefinitely if he could just keep mining from everything. But where do you push forward? Where do you punch forward and say, actually, I can do some damage back at you as well? He hasn't got that opportunity right now.
At 35 minutes into this game, it's a 12-base map, so they've each taken all the bases. Snute is at 6 base, and it looks like this attack, he's rolling forward. It's 84 supply. And there's the GG. Snute takes 2-0 lead and actually will be first in his group.
Liquid Snute, ladies and gentlemen, after defeating Robbie,
look at that smile.
Now defeats Jjakji by a scoreline of 2-0. He shakes his head, but I think he knows he's pretty proud of himself at this point. Very, very happy here. He's going to head out and presumably go find Jjakji, shake his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, the players, what an incredible best of 3 we just had.
Absolutely. Woo! I was like...
2 beautiful games from Snute, 2 extremely well-fought games from Jjakji. Incredible entertainment, fantastic Starcraft here at Gfinity G3. Guys, there's a lot to talk about with those games. We're going to throw it over to the analysts to really pick apart what happened in that series.